Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Mishal Saeed, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're thrilled to have Jennifer Glass, the CEO and founder of BGSI Coaching, joining us. Jennifer brings over 20 years of expertise in marketing, sales, and business growth, helping small businesses double revenues and secure millions in funding through her growth blueprint framework. A thought leader featured in many publications, she's transforming how entrepreneurs scale. We'll explore her founding story, how BGSI Coaching empowers businesses, and her vision for scaling this impact-driven venture. So let's dive in. Jennifer, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you so much for having me, Michelle.
Absolutely. So thrilled to have you on here. So let's dive in, kick things off for the listeners. Take us back to the beginning. What specific problem was it within the small business or growth landscape, perhaps around insufficient leads or operational chaos, that inspired you to start BGSI Consulting Coaching?
Absolutely. Thank you. So to give you a really quick answer how everything got started. So I started my business 20 years ago in the payment processing space.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got into that space, one of the things I said was, I have to make it monkey proof. Because I know that when I was dealing with getting my own merchant account many years ago, it was something that just was so complicated, convoluted, the amount of hoops that you had to jump through to get the account and everything working. It was just mind-blowing. Even one of my developers, he didn't even know how to integrate the payment gateway into our website to take the credit card transactions. And so it was a huge expense and a very expensive learning experience. And so I learned that we needed to get it really easy. And over the years, what started happening was that I was helping my clients figure out exactly what they needed in their businesses too on the payment side. And then bringing all of that into where when I started my coaching practice directly, it just made so much more sense, and going from there and allowing me to really focus in a lot more on creating the high value results that my clients were looking for and that we all really need.
Love that. Let's get into the nuts and bolts now. Really, for the listeners and even potential clients tuning in, would love for you to walk us through really how everything is productized here. What are some of the core deliverables? What does that customer journey look like for anyone who's interested in BGSI coaching? If you can walk us through that and how you structure it for some of your clients, such as solopreneurs or even small businesses you work with.
Absolutely. Thank you. So the way that we work our programs is we work through group coaching programs or our masterminds. That is predominantly the way that we function in terms of the business. The problems that a lot of our clients though are having is, I don't have enough leads. Every small business out there, any business, but especially small business, the biggest problem that we all have is generating enough leads. We don't know how to do it, or we're afraid to do it. And it's because everybody is saying, do this, do that. Ooh, look, squirrel, right? We all are chasing that shiny object. We're all going after, let's throw money here, let's throw money there, and hope that something is going to happen. You know what happens when you hope though? Not a lot. So one of the things that we do is we work with our clients and we really help them figure out exactly what it is that they are doing in their business with their own lead generation, show them how we don't have to be spending money on expensive ads to generate the kind of results that we all need. There's so many different strategies that we work with, or tactics in our lead generation strategies. So among that is joint ventures. Really, who are our strategic partners that can be driving us business and helping us get even more opportunities? Paying attention to the clients that we already have. Too many of us forget that we've got all of these customers over here, but we don't even talk to them. We wait for them to reach out to us. What happens then? We lose out. And another thing that we always see is, how many times do we give up after only 2 or 3 outreaches to our prospects without really seeing where we're going? Truth is, friends, it takes a lot more than 2 or 3 touches before somebody is likely going to say they want to work with you. You need that whole nurture sequence to get somebody ready to work with you. So those are some of the things that we do to help people come in. And that's just on the marketing and lead generation side. I didn't even touch on all of the other sides, but that gives you an idea in terms of where we are and how we help our clients.
Got it. No, from what it sounds like, it's really customized, very bespoke, what you guys are doing in terms of really how do we actually find other avenues to generate leads as a business and then also nurture some of those touch points when a customer does come through that process, right? Like on the external side, of course, for the clients. Now, with a lot of guests we've interviewed, they run like very similar offers within the MarTech space, very like customized offerings, having to like actually tailor a lot of some of that lead gen strategy to who they're working with, especially across different verticals. Would love to learn a little bit more about how you're actually thinking about scaling and productizing your offer while still kind of keeping it effective and manageable. What are some of the ways that you're doing that right now within your business?
Absolutely. And the simple answer is that we made the conscious decision several years ago
Mm,
to move out of the one-to-one coaching space
mm,
and into the groups and masterminds. If we were only doing the one-to-one coaching, I am limited based on the number of days.
mm.
There's so many hours, so many days a week, so many days a month or weeks a month that I
Yeah.
can possibly be working with my clients.
Mm,
The easiest way that we found that we can scale the business then is by focusing in on groups and masterminds.
mm,
Our groups are the most cost effective way for people to be getting access to me
mm,
and the education that we provide to be helping our clients.
mm,
Our masterminds are for the people that understand the value of our network too
mm,
and where they can go with that as well. So there's a lot of ways that we look at how can we still monetize the program
mm.
in a way that allows us to grow as well as our clients. At the end of the day, without them, we're nothing. And
Yeah.
so we are so thankful to our clients and everything that they have done for us over the years and
Mm.
continue to be giving back for them.
Love that. So, from what it sounds like, you're building a community as well of really entrepreneurs where it's not just like you guys providing a lot of those use cases and that education, but a lot of that exchange, value exchange happens just through having a community, having these masterminds take place. I love the fact that naturally is like the byproduct of everything you guys are doing here. Now, really building on your growth, how are you within your business currently acquiring some of the customers you work with? What are some of those channels, whether it's like LinkedIn, your own personal network, referrals, even maybe paid ads? I know you guys don't do it for the clients necessarily, but what's been effective for kind of landing clients for some of the services you guys offer?
Simple answer, two things. One is getting out there and speaking.
Mm,
Just like this is a podcast interview, you are hearing me. It is one to many. It is not one to one sales opportunities. It is an opportunity for me to get my message out there in front of the masses.
mm,
And it cuts down dramatically the amount of time that it takes to show somebody that you're the subject matter expert in a particular area. Second one is, excuse me. The second one is joint ventures.
mm,
I mentioned that earlier as one of those tactics that we use in our lead generation strategy. Understanding who our strategic partners are, how we can help nurture that strategic partnership or that joint venture
mm.
into a long term opportunity where both sides gain. It's not just a me, it is
Yeah.
a we opportunity. And going from there, when you really understand how to use those two programs to your benefit,
Mm,
it really has a huge opportunity. But then I don't want to also shortchange getting out there in the media. In my introduction, Michelle, you mentioned that I've been seen in numerous media outlets. It's because of the work that we're doing to get out there, to get media attention, to get this kind of outreach that
mm,
helps us really hit even more people. Media equals huge credibility,
mm.
and that really helps cement when somebody else sees me in a different way. They just go back, all right, she's been seen here. I saw her here. It adds the celebrity factor. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden things start to help bring it in.
Mm. Yeah. So from what it sounds like, you've diversified a lot of your acquisition. You're really tapping into so many different ways to really get the messaging out there to just create the awareness, but also nurture your audience, which is super important. And I can tell you're using a lot of those strategies as well with some of the clientele that you guys are working with. Now, with sales, right? What does that approach look like? What's been some of those strategies? If someone does come in, they see your publication, they're listening or watching this podcast right now, What are some of the ways you're converting some of those leads into actual long-term like clients? Are you doing this on your own as well, solo, or do you have a sales team or other individuals within your organization helping in that process?
Sure. So on our payment processing side, as an example, with BGSI payments,
Mm.
so we do have a sales channel
Mhm.
that we work with. And again, I eat my own frogs or whatever it is that you want to call it with that, the joint ventures. We
Mm.
work with several banks to help with their payment processing clients as well. So if a bank has a client coming in, they'll say, okay, fine, Mr. Merchant, Miss Merchant, would you like to talk to our company that handles our merchant services for us? Yes. So we get that opportunity there. And then my sales team has an opportunity to have that conversation and go from there. On the coaching side, when we speak with our clients, some of them go straight after hearing me speak. They just go straight to the back of the room or the online form and say, yeah, I want to get in right away and just sign up.
Mm.
Others want to actually have a little bit more of an idea. And I want to borrow, if I can, the old Tupperware idea. For those of you that are a certain age, you may have heard of the Tupperware parties. And there
Mm.
were plenty of other parties out there. There's the makeup parties and all sorts of other things that are there. But
Mm.
it is the idea of try before you buy.
Mm.
Best way to get somebody hooked is to actually experience it. When they're there and they see the value that they can be getting, oh yeah, that's an absolute no-brainer. So I
Mm.
invite somebody to be my guest at one of our sessions. And then most of the time they end up saying, I want to join.
Love that. Yeah, no, letting them see firsthand, letting them experience really what it would look like to work with someone like you. I love the fact that you're not holding back on it and you're really providing a lot of that value up front. So it's very product led, a lot of the growth. Now, that's incredible. If you can share with the listeners, some of them are like still finding their footing as well within their own journey as they start like a marketing venture or their own consulting. What are some of those bottlenecks that stand out for you? Is it attracting even like the right types of leads, like improving some of the conversions, like creating predictability with your lead gen processes? What are you most focused on solving to keep all of this momentum going?
Sure. So the first thing I would say is pay attention to your time.
Mm.
Too many people, they get bogged down on the idea that I got to do it all.
Mm.
And if it's okay, I want to really quickly illustrate something with your listeners here. I want everyone to think of a triangle. And when you think of this triangle, I want it to be an equilateral triangle, meaning all three sides are equal. And I want you to think of the sides being time,
Mm.
money, and resources. In the very beginning in our business, we have a lot more time than we do money and resources.
Mm.
So we need to use our time to get the others. As we continue down the business journey, though, we end
Mm.
up starting to need a lot more money and resources to buy the time that we need. Pay attention to what you're doing, though, in that overall growth phase of your business.
Mm.
What are you doing and how are you going to be generating the kinds of leads and opportunities that you're looking for? Start also finding a mentor or a coach of your own that can
Mm.
help you really continue to speed past some of those speed bumps, if you will, and avoid the same mistakes that too many people have. There's so many folks that go out about it. I'm going to try it on my own. I'm good. I don't need anyone. The truth
Yeah.
is, we all need someone. And one of the things that I've always said is don't work with a coach that doesn't have their own coach,
Yeah.
because we need to be working with our people too,
Yeah.
to help us stay sharp, to help us
Mm.
stay informed and everything as much
Mm.
as everyone else.
Mm.
Even judges have their
Mm.
own judges that they talk to. Leaders have their own circles that they
Mm.
go to. There's so many groups that are out there that you really see they're seeking the people on top of them that really know even more.
Mm.
So keep that in mind. And then the other thing is also look at some of the people in your own network that
Mm.
you know you can start talking with, and maybe start asking them, can I help you?
Mm.
Forget the pay,
Mm.
but can I help you so that I learn by experience? The
Mm.
best thing you can do is get a testimonial. You can
Mm.
then use that with paying clients and say, look, I worked with this client. I got them from A to Z,
Yeah.
and I was doing this, and that's how we did it. I know that in the same situation, I can do the same for you. things along those lines will have a huge ripple effect overall in terms of where you are in your business.
Love that. So I want to get a bit hypothetical here because I love your passion for really like business growth and really kind of enabling businesses to look outside of some of those traditional ways to market and really get their messaging out there. What's your thought process if you had like a genie in the room and we ask every guest, you rub the lamp and now you have all these unlimited resources? What would you implement immediately to accelerate the growth of BGSI coaching today? And what are some of those challenges, maybe some of those bottlenecks that you would solve for by doing so?
Absolutely. So the first thing that I would do is I would make sure that I've got a crazy good CRM, customer relationship management software in place. Why? Because if I've got all of these leads out there, you
Mm,
know that they're going to be forgotten.
mm,
You cannot possibly remember a million people on the top of your head.
mm,
Guarantee you right now, if I were to ask you who's your top 100 clients, you
mm,
probably would not even be able to answer me.
mm,
Having a CRM though allows me to put all sorts of information into that system. In my own CRM, I even put down people's spouses, I put down their kids' names, I put down all sorts of pieces of information
mm,
because it allows me to further connect with those same people.
mm,
Best way to keep a customer long term is to make sure that I no longer am a transactional
mm,
relationship. I'm a personal relationship in that regard. I
mm,
know you personally, right? I speak with you outside of whatever it is that we're doing professionally. I
mm,
know you. I can check in. How is your wife? How is your husband? Oh, your kid is graduating from high school, from college, whatever it is. They're getting their first communion, bar mitzvah, whatever it may be. All
mm,
of these things start to really add up, and the value is huge. So you
mm,
need to have that CRM in place so that you can then be working with these people. The
mm,
next thing is I would make sure that I am staying on top of these people.
mm,
Why? Because everybody has their own life, right?
mm,
They're not sitting around waiting for you to talk to them. They
mm,
need to be doing whatever it is they're doing. But
mm,
if they are being spoken with on
mm,
a fairly regular basis, and define fairly regular in whatever way you want to, whether
mm,
it's daily, weekly, bi-monthly, whatever it is. All of these different ways is allowing you to stay in touch with those people. The
mm,
more that they hear about you, the more likely it is that they are going to either buy from you
mm,
and or refer you
mm,
to other people. But again, they're not sitting around and waiting for your information.
mm,
They are welcoming your information, but they're not sitting around and waiting for it. So you
mm,
need to think about what is it that you're doing. The
mm,
next thing is I would also then be looking at those people and who are the ideal sphere points of influence, the right, the kinds of folks that can introduce you to even bigger people.
mm,
Ed Milet is in his book, I think is the One More, Power of One More,
mm,
is all about going after that one person who can be your connection to your next $1 million deal. That
mm,
is how far away you are. But if you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it. So
mm.
think about who those people are, the spheres of influence that you can be going after, and then you can then be getting even more opportunities and making that genie do even more leads for you.
Now, as we look from within as well, and thank you so much for sharing that with our audience. What would you do if it was if for your business, for BGSI coaching, if you had a genie in the room, what are some of the bottlenecks, some of the challenges that you would solve for immediately within your own business if you had those unlimited resources? What would that look like for you?
So, same thing. I would look at who in those leads are my best spheres of influence and find the ones that can get me on stage even more and help me get even more exposure
Mm,
to reach even more people. That would definitely be one of the first things that I would be looking at doing there. And
mm,
then also asking them, what else can we provide that is within our portfolio
mm,
that would make sense to them?
mm,
People, again, they want to buy from people they know and trust, and
mm,
they're more than happy if they already are working with you to be buying more.
mm,
Again, they just have to be asked in the right way to do it. And if they don't know that you offer this, they
mm.
may not or they won't buy because they just don't know you offer it. It's amazing how many times I see people, oh, I didn't even know you offered that. Yeah, we do.
Love that. So really getting more exposure out there, really just getting more of that out there to get more people aware about what you can do, what you can solve for them from what it sounds like. Now, one last question because we're in the lightning round. Really, with everything you've accomplished so far and your success, what's the vision for the near future as you look ahead? What are some of those things top of mind for growing BGSI coaching over the next 6 to 12 months? What's some of those areas of improvement that you're looking for within the business to tackle on as you head into the runway for 2025?
Absolutely. So for us looking at where we're going, it is continuing our own product development roadmap,
Mm.
looking at the different services that we are offering. One of the services, as an example, that we offer is review management solutions under our Recommend Station brand, and using that to help us even get a foot in the door with a lot of other clients. Okay,
Mm.
it's great. A restaurant wants us to help them get reviews. We've got
Mm.
that. It allows us to get even more. Again, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. What are those additional products and services that
Yeah.
we can offer for them? So helping us get over there, that is a big one. And then also looking at continuing to get even more media attention and speaking engagements to further reach even more people.
Love that. No, I'm super excited for everything you guys are going to unlock this year. I could already see the innovation just through your backdrop, the QR code, and immediately when we hopped on, that was the first thing that captured my eyes. Very unique and disruptive, really what you guys are offering to your clients. So we're really excited about the growth and hopefully we'll follow up as well just in a few months. Now, on that note, that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing your incredible journey and insights with us thus far. To our listeners, if you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also find some more resources and insights at closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class sales systems. And if you would like to work with Jennifer, you can hit her up on her LinkedIn profile. We will link the profile in the summary below. And until then, keep climbing, everyone, and we will see you all on the next one.